You can do this, but you don't know who you are. I know who you are. You're gone. You quit. We won't see you again. Ha, ha, ha.
Remember, you heard it right here from Detecto Rizzo Mac. Peace.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It is late. I'm sorry. I really do apologize for my tardy. As always, life be lifing. And then, you look up and it's the time to go live. So without further ado, also, it's, I guess, the artist in me that has to get the thumbnail right. I was told one too many times that the words, you can't see the words when you look at the thumbnail. So I hope tonight it's a little bit more legible for you. But tonight, oh boy, we've got some things to talk about because the way people were crashing out this week, it's almost like they can't read the smoke signals, right? Or they can't see it in the stars. I feel like there have been a lot of people talking about the impending election. I've been talking about election season because it's just really strange that election day, as we all used to know it, turned into this whole fiasco of days, months, even. Like here in my state, it's months. Anyway, the election finally happened and people were very upset about what's going on. Again, it's almost like they can't pay attention to the signs. What's going on? Spirit Wonder, Y2 Kenyan, all the way free, back from vacation, I see. You see what I did? That was bars unintentionally. Oh, that was more bars. Okay, let me stop. Actually, I guess this is also right on time because let me play this while I deal with the little midget that just walked down the stairs. It's very relevant. Check it out.
6 years. 6 fucking years. It took us 6 fucking years to get our citizenship. I know people, I know some people need more time. I know some people don't ever get their citizenship, but we worked so hard for it. She worked so hard for it. I was just a kid. We came here because she wanted a better life for us. She wanted a better education for us. She wanted for us to have a better future. And now this is all gonna be taken away because of him. Because of that stupid, oh my god, stupid fucking felon. He's a felon. He's a felon. He's a felon. I don't want him here anymore. I can't. I'm not coming back. I'm never coming back here until he leaves the house. He's ruining my life, her life, and the life of every single immigrant in this country.
Good Lord. But whoa, right? She's got some feelings. She has a little bit of an accent, so I'm not going to hold you, but it's not too bad where you couldn't really understand what she was saying. She's upset that the orange man won the presidency. And again, I'm a little confused at people's shock at why Kamala did not get the presidency. It's very strange how people can ignore reality. Let's see. She said that her mother came here to give them a better life, right? And for what it's worth, I used to be of a mind where, for the most part, if you did the things that you were supposed to do to get here and be here legally, then, you know, that's the law and that's what it is. And I might rustle some feathers tonight, but it's not my fault. The orange man started it. He's been known to rustle feathers, and as we've been dealing with fleas, I find it fitting. To all of you on code people who might not be of the land, in the land, here on this land, this isn't directed at you, but if you're feeling some kind of way, then maybe you might need to take a check in the mirror, you know, check yourself, because I'm only speaking about what's mine and what's ours, and ours, I mean ours. And then we can talk about ours globally. But tonight, the way these people were crashing out about things that they really have had no hand in creating or making great, but they want to be here and benefit from all that is great that is here. That's a conversation that we need to have. To all of you melanated folks who are from here and of the land, who have a bleeding heart for people who aren't from here, you know, maybe you see that they're dealing with some shit from wherever they are and they're here now. So you've blanketed them in your protection. You love them, but you have to, I guess, pay attention to the signs as well. Maybe even more so. Me and my man, we were having a conversation about how exposure to people who aren't from here, it has a certain glitch about it. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. But if you have, maybe you can have a conversation tonight with me, because we can fix things very quickly, but people are going to be very uncomfortable. And as long as you're comfortable getting uncomfortable, then this is going to be the conversation for you. And if you're not, maybe you want to share this with a friend because you don't want to get uncomfortable by yourself. Okay, so let's call her Maria, because I don't know her name. But Maria's mom fought for her to be here, fought for her to have better education, and she was able to benefit from that. It seems like Maria's been here, well, when Trump was the president the first time, so I don't know that things were bad for people who had the right paperwork for, you know, the paperwork check that needs to happen about people who aren't supposed to be here. But it sounds like she is a legal immigrant, and that's cool. But what about the people who are not supposed to be here? They are, in fact, breaking the law. I don't know if you get a felony for trespassing in America. I guess I could look that up tonight, but so far, I don't know if you get a felony. If you do, then I guess all of the illegals are also felons. Just they haven't been caught yet. And to that point, our president-elect has had some words about what he needs to do about these people who are not supposed to be here. I think people like Maria, I don't know. If she's supposed to be here, what is the problem? Unless maybe she's not supposed to be here. You know, well, people have to get very honest about what it is that they want. And if they want the opportunity to make life better for their family at home with the economy that America has and the resources that America provides, then they should pay some taxes, right? We get taxed out the ass for pretty much living, and these people get to come here and steal from us. And I don't know if that's the American way.
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption. And there are plenty of them. Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every inspector general's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. It doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
No, I don't know what was wrong with any of what he had to say. I mean, if you're an American, it sounds like you would want any and all of those things to occur. And I guess he's taking a big bite of the apple, right? You know, he is committing, quote, quote, committing to these things on his first day. Everybody says the president doesn't have any power. And then Trump gets in office and shows that that's a lie. And then it's like, well, why are you always lying? But if it's because we've been participating in it because we don't really care, well, why not? It's going to be very important that people get comfortable with the fact that they've accepted and participated in a lot of the fuckery. You're going to have to, take some accountability. And there's nothing wrong with saying you didn't know, but it's the people who do know. And that really grinds my gears, so to speak. Like this. All right. Let's see if I can. Yeah. All right.
He's handsome. Like, we have to be, Democrats are going to have to put forth individuals who not only energize and invigorate within our persons within our community, go out and say, I identify with this individual. They're cool. I can see myself identifying with them. Like, I want to be like them. And that's what the common person, in my personal opinion, are voting for now. Because as you alluded to, Trump has no policies. Like, but people are caring.
Trump has no policies, but it sounds like he has more than 10 plans, which would include some form of policy, right? He's not going to be able to just be in the Oval Office and say, okay, this is law and there not be any paperwork to follow it. I don't understand people's confusion unless they're being stupid on purpose. But let's give some people the benefit of the doubt. And I know, I never give people the benefit of the doubt, but let's just go there for a moment. Let's say they were unawares. They had no clue. They didn't know. The Democrats just they just didn't do it the right way because Trump, he was able to speak to the everyday white American. And I don't know if I believe that much. I find that when you peel back a layer of this onion that is American politics, you find that, well, the Democrats paid for a lot of Republican outreach. And did any of you guys know that? And if you did, shout out to you. And if you didn't, well, now you know. After the election that the Democrats had $1 million or so or more in Republican outreach. So sounds like, I don't know, maybe all of this voter turnout that they weren't expecting from Trump's base is a self-inflicted wound. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I see these things. I don't know that I'm hearing people talk about these things in real life as much as I talk about these things in real life. And I think you guys should too, because these people that we encounter online, they are real life people. Like our favorite bowling ball from Not Here. I think this is the minute marker, trying to make sure that I don't play anything more than I'm trying to play, because you're already getting a click. But let's just, okay, here.
And then he has the benefit of being a governor of a Democratic state where we just elected a Black woman senator who he was behind in the primaries. And so I don't want to attach him to that. I think that he has his own merits on his own record and his credentials. I agree with you on the point of communicators, but I think the number one thing to your point is communication and information is we have to develop a counter strategy. In your chat right now, Roland, I noticed, even though they won, there are all of these chaos agents, these Trump supporters, these fake FBA ADOS people who are relentlessly, everything that comes out of our mouth, they're countering in this chat and they're amplifying Donald Trump. So even though they won, they're not lighting up on their communication strategy because they...
I was about to interrupt her. Let me just go ahead and let her finish her thought. Let her speak. Let her speak. All right, go ahead.
Understand that this is a cumulative impact of making sure that their narrative is the winning narrative, and so Democrats have to.
All right, she didn't really say much of nothing, but I gave her a chance. All right, so fake ADOS or FBA or whatever. I find these terms used like that to be slanderous. Outside of, I don't really care what you call me. Just know that it is me, my family, the people who share my lineage were owed a check. In addition to some other things, some protections, some policies, some plans of action. Right now, I mean, really yesterday, I mean, before I got here, before you got here, but since we're here, well, now it's time to do something about it. And a lot of y'all say, I'm not my ancestors. Yeah, I can see it, because I don't know that your ancestors would be acting, talking, and moving the way that you're moving as much as, well, maybe they did. It's very strange if you peel back another layer of that onion that is American politics and find that the same shit that we're dealing with now, people who don't want to be free, people who don't want autonomy, people who don't want to make decisions and have responsibility for their actions, they want to be able to blame this higher power or lower power. They want to blame somebody else for the shit. I can blame Kamala and Joe Biden for the economy, which is shit. But it's not me saying that, oh, woe is me, and I don't know what I'm going to do when I need a handout. No. No, I know that there's a lot of people who didn't have the same start as me who have gotten to a further, let's see, how do you say that? Their status in life is not where mine is. Even though I have the degrees, I have the education, I have all of, you can check all the boxes that they say that you're supposed to check in order for Black people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and do the things that they need to do to be successful. There's this little thing that we've been dealing with called, well, you know what it is. And inside of that, oh, what a tangled web we weave, right? Black people voting for the racist orange man. Oh no, what should we do? People crashing out because they can't see the benefit of protecting our spaces. That's very strange. I don't know what that is, but I know that on that man's channel, the one that's on your screen, well, he's not from here. He doesn't share my story, and maybe that might be the reason why things look like they look like over there. They look like inclusion, but, well, you'll hear it for yourself. Exclusion is what's happened. And they're blaming the Democrats' strategy. The exclusion because the Democrats don't know how to strategize. No, they know exactly what they're doing. And you niggas don't like to learn. Or maybe you do. Maybe you have. This was a very interesting Roland Martin that I saw. And I wonder if maybe we've turned the page. See what I did there? Oh, no, you probably didn't, because you don't listen to Tim Walz's wife talking down at you about how we need to do the things to ensure that her very questionable past husband and maybe questionable present husband has done some things, and maybe you'd want to turn the page. You know, maybe you'd want to forget some of these things that you know. But I don't want to belabor that thought. Let's just get back to Mr. Martin.
Have to attack all of the conversations we have with the same level of discipline and relentlessness that Republicans are showing. That, to me, is the very first step, is being as relentless and as devoted to countering what the Republicans do. Now, I thought they did a pretty decent job during the Trump era.
Now, right, she's saying that the Democrats have to act like the fake ADOS and fake FBA. What's fake about our lineage? It's like these melanated people drank some Kool-Aid and said, yeah, America is a melting pot. And if you have melanin in your skin, then we're all the same, up until the time where, you know, my flag, melanin, has done something really cool. Well, now it's time for me to shine. And if my flag, melanin, has done something, you know, kind of shitty, well, let's blame it on Black. You know, it's the Black that's bad, not the Jamaican, not the Haitian, not the whatever the fuck that's not Black American. It's never that. It's very strange how people can act like they don't know what's going on when we've been very consistent. I mean, you can go back in time to 1865, Cali House times, and see that Black Americans have been working on this debt, but it is the people amongst us who always seem to get in the way of our progress. Even in 2024, you've got people who share our lineage who don't want us to progress, and oh boy, how many shapes and forms can it take? It can look like a Democrat shill. It can look like a Republican shill. Oh my. A person saying that we need to secure the borders and that's why they're voting red, when really they're voting red for some other devious, self-serving reason, of course. And you've got a person who is saying you need to vote blue no matter who. Again, sharing the same lineage, but They've got this bleeding heart because love who you want to love. And why we have enough space and everything for people. Why can't we bring more people over? And why can't cities figure it out? And who cares that a population of 10,000 jumps to 60,000 overnight, but there were no plans for additional resources or backup for the city who's never experienced a jump like that? Who cares? Whatever, right? It's very strange how accommodating Black America has become. But if the election is any indicator of the future, well, Black America has woken up, and people around us who understand what's going on, they're not in the way. If anything, they're amplifying the message, and salute to y'all, because you don't have to do that. If you were going to ask what you could do, though, it would be to speak louder about the people in your communities who are doing these things that are impeding on our progress. Because once we get what is owed to us, you will get what's owed to you. That is the trickle-down effect that they don't want you to think about. They want you to look at the trickle-down effect and say, oh, it doesn't work because Black America says it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work for Black America because our boat has a hole in it, right? Our cup has a hole in it. You can't trickle something into something and expect it to grow over time if there's a hole, nor can you expect someone to get anywhere if their boat has a hole when the tide comes in, right? But you know all of this already. So why are we so surprised that America's had enough? I've seen all sorts of different white Americans on the opposite side of White Guys for Harris, etc., saying, where did 20 million voters go? And this is the voter fraud we were talking about, and blah, blah, all this stuff. No, I mean, yeah, I think that, I think that the Democrats were definitely engaging in some sort of voter fraud during the experiments of 2020. But I also think, and this is something they're never going to say, but I think that Black America stayed home. A lot of you guys voted for the couch. Shout out to y'all, because you didn't need to publicize it like these vote blue no matter who dummies. And I guess if we're going to call a spade, I don't know that I saw a lot of Black Republicans in anybody's face trying to make them do anything as much as these vote blue Democrats. They were abusive. It's like very rapey. They're the first people to scream, me too, but how they act. And I guess, again, because we're gonna be gentle tonight, if I'm going to give them some leeway, if they were willing to accept and admit that they are victims of abuse, then maybe I would take that that's why they act the way that they act. But I don't think these people think that there's anything wrong. I think that they think everything is A-okay, even if something really bad happened to them. And then because something really bad happened to them, well, if I can go through it, then you can go through it too, and nothing's bad's going to happen to you. Or maybe I liked it. Maybe we need to make this a thing because, well, boys can like boys and girls can like girls, can't they? It's you naysayers who make it ugly. At least that's the argument I've seen, and shame on you, because children shouldn't be having these conversations. But you're forcing it on them. These Democrats, they're forcing these conversations on the children, and I don't know why, unless it's to be very rapey. It's just, I don't know. This woman that was on your screen before my computer glitched, I'm trying to get that back up for you, but she was talking about how the fake ADOS and FBA were all in this chat talking all big and bad about how we won and we did this and ooh, and she lied. You can check it out yourself. Also, maybe Roland, if you're listening, don't delete the people in your chat, because when it supports arguments, people can go there and check it out. People weren't saying that they won per se, as much as they were saying y'all lost. Because really, wasn't that how they wanted us to vote? They didn't really want us voting on policy as much as, well, I'm not him. Kamala ran on, I'm not Joe and I'm not Donald. And we can look at you and see that you're not Joe and you're not Donald, dummy. But what do you want to do? Like, when you have the power to do the things, what are you going to do? And are you going to do things differently than Joe? No, you're not going to do it. Okay, well, the American people have spoken. We've had 4 years of Joe. We don't want any more of that. So whether you stayed home or you voted for someone else that wasn't Kamala, I think that that's a step in the right direction.
Of having their press conferences and pointing out all the bad stuff that Republicans were doing, but they didn't point out all the bad shit they were doing while Biden and Harris were in office. And so they have to not let up this election, for the remainder of the Biden-Harris administration, and they have to invest in the same things that the Republicans have invested in. If they do that, then we have a fighting chance with West or with whoever else will be the nominee in 2028.
Rebecca.
You know what's really interesting, Reese? I was also reading the comments. I see a lot of FBI and ADOS. Yep. And you know what? By any account, I am FBI and ADOS. My family has been in this country for centuries. Mm-hmm. We have survived for centuries. And what's always interesting is whether it's Tariq or Yvette and they're doing their discussions and they're talking about tangibles or lineage, how are we going to make decisions? And even when thinking about the concept of reparations, that still goes back to the economy, mm-hmm. right? Because we're now talking about personal economy. We're talking about things that are owed to those of us who are descendants of people who have built this country. But even still, what's also kind of weird for me, though, is even seeing the bots or the people with misinformation saying, oh, we should just burn the whole thing down. Mm. When has that ever, if you're ADOS or FBA, when has it ever been a Black American ideology of just...
Beautiful. All right, so this woman who shares my lineage is speaking stupid on this man's channel, and maybe it's just because she doesn't know, but maybe some of you don't know. So let me tell you what I've learned. I've learned that there were more than three. Three what? All right, let me tell you. 3 revolts, 3 uprisings. In school, you might learn about Nat Turner. Maybe you learn about Denmark Vesey or Gabriel Prosser. But the 2 that I just mentioned, those didn't quite jump off the way that they were supposed to jump off. So, we'll tell you about it because it didn't quite do what they were supposed to do, and we were able to thwart the plan. We had special niggas around, right? Okay, let's talk about Nat Turner, the one that did jump off, the one that we do talk about. They ate that man. I mean, after they went through a lot of shit to try to get him, they essentially ate him, boiling you down to oil. That's some cannibalism shit. And with books like The Delectable Negro, I don't know. I think that the bones were just returned to the family in the last 10 or 20 years. So, it's like a couple hundred years later, give or take some years. Okay, moving on. There were more than 3. There were over 200 uprisings, but you didn't know that. And you didn't know that because they don't teach that. A lot of people use how they feel with what they've learned and try to make decisions about life. If you find that things are still not making sense, it might be because you learned some lies. I was about to sugarcoat it. No, they straight lied to us in school. And a lot of you have not done the work of unlearning these lies. So then you get on these platforms and these channels and on these apps and you start talking stupid, and it is in the way of our progress. So, ma'am, I don't know your name, but ma'am, you could learn a thing or two and then maybe stop glitching around the tethers. Because when you say things like, where in Black American history have we been known to burn things down, it sounds like you don't know of the uprisings where our ancestors did burn shit down. I mean, literally, quite literally, burn shit down. Plantations burned down. What happened to the Knicks? What happened to them? That's how cool we've been. We've been able to integrate into whatever society that we were able to get to after said uprising and do the things. I think that your ancestors would be appreciative if you took a pause to learn. Because once you know, maybe you stop talking stupid on the internet. Maybe the misinformation war that is the revolution that has been televised and publicized and spread across the world, it'll finally be done. We can move on because we will have paid. We will have been paid what is owed to us, or at least gotten a start on it. The rest of the world will follow suit, because why wouldn't they? That's America's whole deal. Look at how we're doing things. You need to do how we're doing. And if you don't, well, there's some consequences for that. And if you do, well, there's some benefit to that. So, allies and shit. The Orange Man being in office, I don't know how many allies we're gonna make, as much as people keep trying to scare us away from how the world is gonna perceive us. But let's jump there. Let's jump to how the world's perceiving us. Because these scare tactics, they have to stop. And they only stop when people decide that they're going to do more to make sure that they're informed. Oops. Pressed the wrong thing. Here you go. Let's talk about the world.
Donald Trump's not even president yet. Have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours? The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America and to be taken off the terrorist list. Putin came out and said that Western civilization is not an enemy. Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats. Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of their Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey, America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously, and Russia supports it. The Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members. Stock markets and crypto hit all-time highs. He sent Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton into depression. Because of all of this amazing news, white, liberal, ugly women are now refusing to have sex with men. America is in fact being made great again.
Speaking of these ugly women who are so upset. Did you see on the apps, they're saying, we're not going to have sex anymore with you because you voted for that man. But here's an alternate thought. If they were so disciplined in their sexual behaviors, then maybe abortion wouldn't have been their main talking point, right? It's so strange how people put sex before everything else, but then when it comes down to it, it's only a certain group of people who do that. And if you guys allow these people to run amok, well, we will end up with another Biden presidency. It'll be another name, of course, or shit, maybe it'll be Biden. I don't know. The way Trump was trying to give Hunter a pass, talk about chess moves. I don't know. There's a woman who wanted to show you. There she is. The type of people who are upset about the things my side of the internet. Meet Colleen Joe Mato of Los Angeles. And this woman, she is an inmate now. She is 43 years old, white woman. Here is the paperwork, so y'all know that I'm not lying. Why is she in jail, Eve? Okay, she's in jail. She's a SPED teacher. That's a special education teacher. And she was arrested Thursday after being accused of giving several minors drugs and weed and having sex with one of the 13-year-olds in her car. Police were saying that she might have done this with other victims. She is being held for $1.3 million bail. And whoa, California is like that hit and miss state, right? They start to do things with regards to reparations and then they pull the plug. They have these very strange practices, policies, and laws regarding children and sex. But, well, people are getting arrested for doing things that you're not supposed to do. And I mean, I guess this is a heterosexual thing, so maybe that's where the line is drawn. If she were doing this with little girls, would she be in handcuffs or would she be given the key to the city? I don't know anymore. It's just really crazy where we are in 2024, but people are so surprised that America has turned the page. I mean, have gone back. America said we would rather the vocal racist who makes everybody uncomfortable than these people who smile and laugh and shit. Even Putin said he loves Kamala's laugh, and if that's not ultimate trolling, I don't know what is. But these people who smile in our face, tell us these things, these sweet nothings, these pillow talking points, and then they fuck us. Like, not the way you want to be fucked. Like how this woman was fucking her students. Or allegedly fucking her students. I don't know. I'm sorry. I think that most of the people that I saw crashing out were of the different sexual persuasion. And I'm not talking about the regular gays. I'm talking about the plus QIAs, all of that other shit. You know, don't you remember back in the day, it was like, you know, some faggots or some dykes, and then that was it. Well, now it's way more than that. And now you can identify as a little baby and say that you want nappies and nap time and somebody to wipe your ass and wear a diaper that they make for adults and a big ass crib made for an adult who wants to be treated like a child. Shit is fucking weird. America said, no, everybody keeps calling us Babylon and we're going to burn. I don't want to burn. What we got to do to not burn? We can't do what she wants to do. She says she doesn't want to do anything different. Why so many crash outs? Unless they're not real. Because that's the other side of things. Maybe these people who recorded these snot-fueled, ugly cries on the internet, maybe all of that shit's just for clicks and views. There are mental disorders associated with attention-seeking behavior on the internet, and I can't say that that's not what we're witnessing in real time because I'm not a psychologist. But so, you know, in my unprofessional personal opinion, that could definitely be what we're dealing with. But it's not the only thing we're dealing with. We are literally dealing with people using the law against us, using laws that were made for us against us. The other side of the crash out was about birthright citizenship. that would be the 14th Amendment. And if I could get to where I was at. All right, here we go. So, the internet's a wonderful thing. If you want to read more about this, history.com is a great start. It's like the History Channel, but online. And yeah, it can be whitewashed in instances, but for the most part, I find that they are doing what they're doing to just relay what has happened. And then things that they don't want you to know, they don't even really touch on it. So the 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868, that would be 3 years after the Civil War, granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, including formerly enslaved people, and guaranteed all citizens equal protection of the laws. Now, equal protection of the laws. The 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868, but Black people didn't actually get equal protection with these laws until, I don't know. I mean, aren't we still kind of being murdered with impunity? I mean, yeah, you'll have a one-off where a cop gets charged and found guilty for murdering one of us with with supposed impunity. But then, they get some consequences, so that's not impunity anymore. They are doing the things. The law is working in our favor. But does the law always work in our favor, or are we given these one-offs to confuse us? Mr. Fuller talks about how the system is designed to confuse us, but look, y'all, we are not the only ones confused. They're confused too, and we have such a deeper memory of things that I guess that's why you guys blanket these other people in your protection until you don't want to protect them anymore, and you rather that they carried the ass. Shout out to people making Luke feel uncomfortable on the internet. He says he's not going to talk politics anymore. Actually, he said that before the election and then came back and started talking politics again. They just can't keep our business out their mouths. It's almost like their homes don't have business to attend to. Almost like, I don't know, they didn't flee for some reason. All of these hard workers that people say that America needs, if they are so hardworking, why can't they do that work at home? Oh, right. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm supposed to be gentle tonight. So, being gentle. This woman on your screen looks like one of them dummies for Kamala supporters. One of these people who age is nothing but a number. Shout out to R. Kelly, but not really shout out to R. Kelly. People who want to use the law to their advantage to get over on people. In California, if children's rights are being taken away in the weirdest way, children don't actually have rights, but now they can mutilate their bodies. And if their parents disagree, well, you could potentially lose your rights as a parent. But who speaks up for the child if the parent's not able to speak up for the child? Oh, now they become a ward of the state. Sounds like some sort of penal system that I'm not, I don't know. Maybe we're not there yet. 1868, 3 years after the Civil War. Do you know what the population of the country was? I'll tell you. Well, at least on paper, according to them, there were 4.5 million Black people and 27 million white people and 80 or so thousand other people. That's about 31 million people, give or take. Now, if you listen to Dr. Winters or have done any independent studying on your own, you'll know that these numbers are undercounting us by a lot and possibly overcounting them by a lot. So maybe it is the same amount of total people, but these numbers could be skewed in a big way. From there, if we've always been 14, 13, 12% of the population, and now we have 333 million people as of 2022. But oh wait, you got to account for the 11 million people that Donald Trump is saying he's going to round up. So that's actually 345 million people in the country in 2024. That's an insane markup. And they want you to believe that it is of people who are from other places. 345 million people are a mixture and amalgamation of different ethnicities, nationalities, loyalties, all supposed to come under the banner of America. For what? You can look at the crime rates and see that some people, when they come over here and they wave a flag and banner that is not of here, they start doing shit to the people that are from here. And they get protection, especially during this last 4 years. So why the confusion? Trump's day one agenda was clear. If you didn't agree with it, maybe you don't want to be here. The woman that I showed you at the beginning of the show, she said she is gonna go back. I think that's excellent. Please go back. I think ICE should talk to all of the people who feel like you first. Like, that would be a lot easier than trying to find people who don't want to be found, wasting American tax dollars on this witch hunt of sorts, right? That's what they keep saying. It's a witch hunt. It is. It's like these blacks don't remember what it used to be like being rounded up by the KKK. Fuck you. Disrespectfully, of course, because not only do the people who got here yesterday don't understand the paperwork check that our ancestors had to go through. Is you free, nigga? Are you not free? You got permission to be here? Oh, you do? Oh, no, you don't. And then, well, shit, now you are in a whole other place because, well, it was the times, of course, right? 2025 is going to be a wonderful year of reckoning, a year of exposure continued, a part 2 of sorts. And where do you fall? If anything that Trump has said has scared you, then again, maybe you need to take a check, temperature check. Who are you and why are you here? If you're here because you have no choice, because you were born here and this is where your family's from, well, maybe you need to do some reading because your ancestors who fought, died, bled, struggled, lived through the experience that is chattel slavery might have some feelings about how you've been complacent in the fight that they were fighting. Or, maybe you come from some ancestors who liked it because their massa wasn't so bad. There's a little girl on Facebook talking about who wants to be my slave. I would be the best massa. What? But, there's niggas out here who want that. They would love to not be responsible for anything. They get to wake up, go do their job, they get some food, get somewhere to lay, they get a bitch to fuck, maybe they make some kids, maybe massa doesn't whoop them every day. That would be the life, right? They don't have to worry about no bills. Shit, some of y'all toes curled when I said that. And shame on you, because what? But giving you the benefit of the doubt, maybe you just didn't know. maybe your Black American upbringing didn't include things like living color.
You heading north? Nah, man. I believe this is southeast. Well, how far behind you is they? Who? The dogs. I don't hear the dogs. Man, what dogs, man? Is there something I can help you with? Because I'm on my way home, and man, I am whipped. Oh, Lord, how many lashes they give you? Nah, man. I mean, I'm beat. Well, at least you still got your foot. Man, look, what is it that you want, man? I don't have any time for this. Well, you must be one of them house niggas. Look, I'm just looking for my freedom. Freedom? Yes, sir. Well, where the hell you been, in a cave? Yes, sir, right back yonder. Oh, man, look, you must be from the South, man. Brothers up here don't act like that. Who? Excuse me?
Well, move it. You're blocking the way.
I'm sorry, sir. We just mosey out your way. Man, what the hell is the matter with you?
I'm trying to jog, and you're blocking my way.
Yeah, well, next time, run around, jackass.
What?
You crazy, man. You crazy. You don't be talking to no white man like that. They want to be right even when they wrong. We're sorry, sir. We're sorry, sir. Don't mean to hurt you. Don't mean to hurt you. He must got one of them, that colored fever going around. Boys, now fail to accept my apologies, please, sir.
Well, I'll accept yours.
Thank you.
But I don't like your friend's attitude.
You better change your attitude. Man, why did you do that? What you talking about? Didn't your pappy teach you nothing about survival? You don't talk to the white man like that. Them people want to be right even when they're wrong. You see what you did? You don't put the dogs on us. Oh, them dogs are a lot smaller than Pappy said they would. It's 1991. What did you say? I said stop eyeballing that white woman. Your fancy clothes on. Man, you can have that if you so desire, brother. This is 1991, man. All that handkerchief head stuff don't play up here.
33 years ago. 33 years ago. But, the way the misinformation war has started, I can't really blame some of you. It is very easy to get trapped in the rabbit hole of cute, stupid videos, or the rabbit hole of fights that are like, what? Or the rabbit hole of animals doing animal things. And, oh my God, did you see the spider in the praying mantis? Did you see the seal jump on the lady's boat trying to escape the killer whales? I get it. It is fascinating to see these things. Right now, we don't have to wait for, National Geographic to show it on TV. We can just search it up right then and there. And sometimes you're not even really searching for it as much as what we've put into these little devices that read our thoughts. They read our words. They remember these things, and then they start showing you things. It's programming. If you are not a strong individual, you will be programmed, and even the strongest of us are programmed. But I think it takes a strong person to recognize what all is happening and then say, yeah, I want to do something about that, because I saw that there was something going on, but I didn't know quite what it was because of the programming. Now I see it. I want to do something different. What do I do? Well, I think the first thing you can do is maybe not have such negative feelings about America doing American things. You have to consider self-preservation as a move. If everybody understands that gay sex doesn't create more people, well, America's not done yet. They don't want to be done yet. These niggas, and I don't mean black people, but they trying to go to Mars. They trying to figure out how to live in other places. They're not done yet. As much as, yeah, maybe they'll hit the nuke button on here because they figured it out somewhere else, but that's not reality Yet, reality is that we have a very real opportunity to do something about things that you see are problematic now. And it's not going to be bitching on the internet about who became the president. You're going to have to take a step back and look at what it is that you're doing to benefit your family and do more. Because that's the American way. That's the Black American way. That is the way we've always done. And with and without, we've always done these things, of course. So Trump's day one, Biden's day one, Kamala's day one. I mean, okay, I'm sorry. Let me not lie. Kamala's day one, I'd be a little bit weirdly feeling about that. The way that they were trying to fuck these babies and let these criminals over here and become the police, right? Y'all remember the articles and stories? These aren't just one-offs, and it didn't just happen that one time. States were recruiting people who don't speak English to be the enforcing class. What type of America are you wanting to exist in? And if this is it, Kamala's America, well, yeah. Go to bed, lick your wounds, and wake the fuck up, because a new day is coming. And you not in chains, nigga.
Put the check black first because it's brilliant. People talk too much. Say less. Remain on code, follow the spirit. When the going gets tough, it's time for resilience. A fight inherited, no turning back, we're on our way. Tune into Eve at the end of your day, defying the odds. She's breaking the mold, black, beautifully blunt. Eve's story is bold. Unpopular talks, but they need to be heard. Eve's on a mission, spreading the word. Black America is fighting the oldest fight. Using her voice, shining the light. Stay ready, stay strong, that's her creed. Eve's got the wisdom, planting the seed. Just Eve. Just Eve. Just Eve. Just Eve. Planting seeds. Cut the check black first because it's brilliant. People talk too much. Say less. Remain on code, follow the spirit. When the going gets tough, it's time for resilience. A fight inherited, no turning back, we're on our way. Tune into Eve at the end of your day, defying the odds. She's breaking the mold, black, beautifully blunt. Eve's story is bold. Unpopular talks, but they need to be heard. Eve's on a mission, spreading the word. Black America is fighting the oldest fight. Using her voice, shining the light. Stay ready, stay strong, that's her creed. Eve's got the wisdom, planting the seed. Just Eve. Just Eve. Just